All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to our next math lesson. So, this week we are learning about line plots. Okay. And yesterday, if you were either at our math class, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 o'clock, I would love to see more friends show up. I have a couple who are there every day, every week, which is great. But I would really love to see more of you who are completing the math assignments. So maybe make it a goal to come to math class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. At 10 o'clock. I'd love to see you. All right. So today's lesson is still talking about line plots, and we're going to be looking more into reading them and how can we read them? What do they look like? All right. Let's begin. Today, we're going to learn how to read a line plot. So remember, a line plot is a way to display data, and data is another word for information. Okay, so we're just showing another way to show information on a number line. Okay, look at your number line. This is what it looks like, and this is the data or information on the line plot. Line plots can be made using whole numbers. You can use fractions on a line plot. You can use mixed numbers. It just depends on your set of data. The information is also called a set. So you can have a set or just a bunch of data. Today's example, we're going to be using mixed numbers and whole numbers, okay? And I'll show you what that looks like. And then each dot or X represents one part of that set of data. Okay, so you'll see the X's here. In some of the examples, you'll see dots. In your assignment today, you'll see a dot on a line plot. Okay, each X represents one part of the information of the data, and you will know what I'm talking about in a second. A line plot can also show data on a line with an X to show how many times an object, color, or thing has showed up. Okay, so if something is red, there was only one red thing. If something is blue, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 blue things or numbers. If something was purple, there were only 2 purple things, and then it looks like there were 5 green things. Okay, so that's pretty much how you read a line plot with colors. Simple. Okay, it's the same thing with numbers. Let's take a look at the Pearson video on reading line plots. If it ever comes up. There we go.
How can you read data in a line plot? A line plot shows data along a number line. Each dot above a point on the line represents one number in the data set. An outlier is any number in the data set that is very different from the rest of the numbers.
So this word is going to come up today called an outlier. And if you did yesterday's vocabulary lesson, and if you were here for math class yesterday, this word should be a little familiar to you. Okay, so an outlier is any number that is very different from the rest. Okay, so take a look at this chart here. We have 1, 1/2, 1 and 1/2, 1, 1 and 1/2, 3, and 1. So I see a couple of numbers that are the same. I see 1, I see 1 and 1/2, and then 1/2 is kind of close to some of these. 3 is a little odd though. So I'm thinking that 3 may be the outlier, okay? But let's see if we're right. Let's see if we're right. 3 is very different than the rest of these numbers here. Let's see.
The table shows the distance Eli walked his dog each day for 7 days. How would a line plot help you identify any outliers in the data?
Line plots make data easier to read at a glance.
What do you notice about the distances in the table? Most of the distances are close in length. Is there a piece of data that is very different from the others? Explain. Yes, Eli walked his dog much farther on Friday than on the other days. You can show the data on a line plot. The most dots are above 1 on the line plot. The most common distance is 1 mile. The longest distance is 3 miles. The shortest distance is 1/2 mile. How many dots are above 1 1/2 miles?
So there's two
Select
dots.
your answer.
So there's 2 dots above 1 1/2, okay? So on our little chart from before, there were 2 1 1/2s, there were 3 ones, only 1 half, and then there was only 1 3. So that's how you would plot the points. If you see it come up once, you put 1 dot. If you see it 3 times, you put 3 dots. This came up 2 times, so I put 2 dots, and then this only came up once, I'm going to put 1. So the question is, how many dots are above 1 1/2? Well, there are 2.
2 dots are above 1 1/2 miles. What do the 2 dots mean?
So this is important. What do the 2 dots mean? Well, it means that because there was like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, on 2 days he walked 1 1/2 miles.
Eli walked his dog 1 1/2 miles on 2 days. Why was a number line from 0 to 3 used for this line plot? All the data are between those 2 numbers. Identify any outliers. The dot above 3 is far away from the other dots on the line plot. The distance Eli walked his dog on Friday, 3 miles, is an outlier. Will all sets of data have an outlier? Explain. No, some sets can have data in which all the numbers are close in value. Could a set of data have more than 1 outlier? Explain. Yes, the set could have 1 or more numbers much greater or much less than the other numbers. Now you know how to read data in a line plot.
All right, so 3 was the outlier, okay? When you have this number line, 3 was the greatest number there, so you can stop at 3. And then obviously you start any number line at 0, but 3 is the outlier because it's very different than the rest of these, and it's very far away than where most of the dots, most of the data is. So that would be the outlier. Okay, today you're going to find your own outlier in your assignment, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, this is your assignment for today. Okay, you're going to have a line plot. You're going to have a Google form. And it's the same line plot for each question. I just put it there to help out. Okay, and there's only 4 questions. Okay, so you're going to take a look at this data, giraffe heights. Okay, so height means how tall something is. So these are how tall some giraffes were. So you have 14 feet, 15 feet, 16 feet, 17 feet, 18 feet. Okay, so I'm not going to give you the answers here, but each dot represents how many giraffes were that many feet. So like there's no giraffes that are 17 feet because there's no dots. Okay, but you have 2 that are 18 feet, 3 that are 15 feet, and so on. So this question says how many giraffes are 14 feet tall? Well, you're going to go to 14 feet and you're going to figure that out. Okay, what is the most common height? Common means the most. So where do you see that? Where do you see the most? How tall is the tallest giraffe? So don't let this trick you. Don't let the number of dots confuse you. It's not always about the dots. It's about the numbers. What is the tallest feet on this chart? Okay, the tallest would mean the most, the biggest. So think about that. And then here we go with the outlier. Okay, here's the outlier question. Is 18 an outlier? Do you think it is, or do you think it's not? Okay, remember, outlier means any number in a data set that is very different from the rest. So think about that. Tell me yes or no, and tell me why. Okay, you have to explain. So remember, when you explain something, you have to talk to me in a complete sentence. Yes, 18 is an outlier because blank. No, 18 is not an outlier because blank. Okay, so very simple assignment today. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, keep up the great work, everybody.